Yo, what's up, Hollywood Raw family? How are you guys doing? Like, subscribe, follow our YouTube channel. I'll follow you back if you do it. Comment down below.
Welcome to the Hollywood Raw podcast. I am Dax Holt. Today is a little bit of a strange day because Adam is not joining me today. In total transparency, 5 minutes before we were supposed to start this podcast, he got a call and he had to run down to a restaurant in Manhattan to interview The Rock. So that does not happen, and there's very few celebs on Adam's bucket list that would take him away from this podcast. However, The Rock is one of them. So I'm hoping for our next podcast, we might have a nice little interview with The Rock or some kind of soundbite or at least a good story for Adam to tell us about what the hell went down today. But if this is your first time joining in the Hollywood Raw podcast, we are all about humanizing Hollywood. We like to chat first person to celebs, find out their story, and just have a wonderful conversation. You know, we've had amazing conversations with so many people over the years, with Audrina Patridge and Spencer Pratt and Mark Cuban and Tony Robbins. And I mean, I could just list on and on and on. However, if this is your first time, I hope you stick around. And you know what? I hope you actually check out some of our archive. We have some amazing, amazing interviews. Not only that, a lot of them have broken a lot of news over the years. With that said, we do like to say thank you to anyone who has left a review. And if you've spent the time, we do greatly appreciate it. And I'm going to go ahead and shout out someone here on the podcast that left a review recently. It is from Dame457. It says, this podcast is incredible. Absolutely hooked on this podcast. You guys rule. Thank you. Thank you. Honestly, from the bottom of our hearts. For people that don't understand how important reviews are, it is the difference between your podcast being successful and not successful. The second you guys start leaving reviews, it climbs the charts on Apple. It makes it discoverable. It allows other people to find it. So that is, I think, why you hear other podcasts, including ours, constantly begging for people to leave reviews. So please, please, please take a second out of your day, leave a review, give us 5 stars. And it's like our form of payment. We don't charge for the podcast, so hopefully you can just leave us a review. Anyway, all right. Well, we got a big episode today. For people that are not social media fanatics, this guy is huge on Instagram. He goes by the handle Limitless. He's kind of like a Dan Blizerian type where it's just insane amounts of money, crazy cars. He's not the same as Blizerian in regards to just women around him all the time. Like, he's surrounded by celebrities. There's tons of photos of him and Floyd Mayweather. He's always courtside at Lakers games. He's got, I mean, I want to get into like his just car collection alone, the amount of Bugattis and Ferraris and all these other ridiculous cars that I've seen him post online. I want to ask him about it. I want to know how many cars he has total in his fleet. But if you don't follow him, maybe you can check on his Instagram as we're talking. It's at Limitless. And we'll just kind of get into everything about his life and how he's made all of his money. And I got a lot of questions for this guy. So, all right, without further ado, let's get to our guest today, Jas Mathur. Welcome, buddy. Jas, what's up, buddy? How are you?
What's happening? Great. Can't complain. I mean, beautiful Miami, the great weather, great vibes, great atmosphere. I mean, you can't really complain.
I was going to ask you where you were right now because I feel like every time. So, okay, let me rewind because people are going to find it very strange that Adam is not here right now. And let me just be completely transparent. Adam right now is in the midst of a conversation with The Rock. And Jas, I don't know if you know, but Adam is also a street journalist, aka paparazzi, and he is out in New York right now chatting with The Rock. I guess they're at some restaurant in Manhattan. And so I said, do your thing with The Rock. I got to go talk to Jas. So that is where Adam is right now. I don't know if he'll have time to pop in, but That is why Adam is not here with me.
So
Okay,
good.
getting back
I
to you.
ran into Adam a couple of weeks ago when I was in New
That's what he
York.
said. Where did you guys run
Yeah,
into each other? At
we
Floyd's
were at
birthday
a
or Floyd something, right?
no, that was a while ago. This was a Health Corps event, Dr. Oz's foundation.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
You were
yeah.
both at both things. That's why
Correct,
I
correct,
confused
correct,
the two.
correct.
Okay, so that's he did say he's like, "Oh, Jess, I just met him the other day. We had a great conversation."
Yeah,
That's really funny. So, what was he like when you met him in person? Is he crazy?
I mean, it's got to be wild. You got to be wild and crazy. I mean, to do what to do that stuff. I mean, you have to be wild and crazy. You can't just be one
Right?
or the other. You got to be both.
Yeah. So right when I first started TMZ, like a long, long, long time ago,
Yeah.
they gave me a camera and they're like, "Go out, shoot some, video." I felt so uncomfortable all the time, and I never brought back good stuff, so they kind of pulled me off of that. But I give Adam so much credit because to think of these questions on the spot to ask celebrities instantly, I literally don't know how he does it.
Listen, let me tell you something. Before I started Instagram, I was this is in December of 2018 when I kicked it off, and Ray J actually pushed me to do it. Right, we were sitting on a basketball court, but years in leading into it, I was telling myself, I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna hold a camera up and hold my phone and start talking to myself all fucking day. That's not gonna happen, you know. And lo and behold, look at what happens. So never say never.
I was gonna say now you're a full
Never.
influencer with
Yeah.
cameras following you around the gym, the whole
Damn,
thing.
shit! I'm just look. I just see the sponsorship deal now. I just need a brand sponsorship deal. That's all I'm
Yeah.
missing.
So I was gonna say, like, I was gonna ask you where you were. You said Miami because
Yes.
every time I look at your Instagram, and if you don't follow Jas, you should. He is at Limitless on Instagram. It's a huge handle. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give you the pats on the back because he's got over 7 million followers. You've got a huge reach on Instagram. A lot of people love watching your lifestyle. I mean, listen, you live a very big lifestyle. You got the fast cars, you're flying on private jets, and I think people are fascinated with that. And they tune in to see what the hell you're doing on a daily basis. But
Mhm.
on that note, you're constantly traveling around. So,
Yes.
where do you have homes? Because I've seen LA, I've seen Miami. Do you have homes in all these places, or you
Yeah.
just kind of
A-
jump
LA
around?
and LA and Miami both.
Okay.
So I
The one
hop
thing
around. I look at the weather. So based on the forecast, I hop around. No, I'm
it was a
joking.
good time. It's raining in LA right now, so it was
It's
probably good
true.
that you got out of here.
Yeah, no.
But
I mean, I shuffle along New York, LA, Miami, quite a bit, for work purposes. I mean, I'm always shuffling between the three areas. And a lot of people, you got to understand, they moved over to Miami from LA, from New York, ever since the whole COVID thing started a year and a half ago. So Miami became like a hotbed, and then New York is still always going to be the financial district. I mean, you're looking to go public, you're looking to do things with investment banks, things like that. You always have to do stuff in New York, and LA is always going to be LA.
okay, so speaking of work, for
Yes.
people that follow you on Instagram
Yeah.
and they see that you're very wealthy, can you explain what your jobs are, what companies you own to
hmm
someone that is just tuning in for the first time?
Yeah. So the core of my business is a digital agency. So I started off as a web developer and a web designer, graphic designer back in '96, and you know, as I saw the internet basically grow to become what it is today. Back then, there was literally nothing. There was Yahoo and a couple of other search engines, and maybe like hundreds of other websites or thousands of other websites. Today, it's massive. So, having learned, the whole scope of internet as it kind of got built and grown, I know all the different components from the internet marketing side to social media to video, all of what's needed. So we have a in-house team um, of people, of professionals, I would say, that are pretty much situated in 5 different countries, believe it or not, and offices in all those countries for the last decade plus. And that parent company of mine is Blaze One. That's the name of the company. That's the one that is the mother company. We have
Mhm.
all the whole team there, and today without digital, you can't do anything. It doesn't matter if you could be a brick and mortar store, you could be trying to launch a product. You need digital, even if it's something as simple as a logo design or a flyer design. You need digital. Print is stale. So I have a digital agency, and I develop products and I develop brands. Started off before I used to do a lot of advertising and offer affiliate marketing services for other brands and other people. Now I do everything in house, so I'm pretty much my own client.
And how many like different, so if you're in numerous different countries, your business
Yeah.
is numerous different countries, and you got lots of businesses here,
Mhm.
how do you find time? Like that's the one
So
question I find the most fascinating.
so right now my business, my customers, the clients are only in the United States and Canada. Primarily 90% US, but the workforce that we have is spread across many countries because of A, the talent that you get, and B, how much you end up paying for the talent as compared to if you had everybody in the United States. So, you know, the key to running all of this operation is building automation. So I try to build as much automation as possible. We have our own softwares, like our own CRM, our own, literally everything that manages and runs the whole business, our ERP, CRM, we have all our own internal. And we build automation that way, so it's not hard to project manage, and, it's not hard to have one person, watch over 5, 6, 7 people and see what they're doing, especially when each person understands how long it takes to do a certain task and deliver.
So take me back. So, because I think all this is crazy interesting because I have a business. I got a couple of businesses, but that to me is fascinating. But where you've had massive success where other businesses haven't is on Instagram. Instagram is a hard nut to crack.
Yes.
And I look back and I went back to see what your very first photo that you ever posted on Instagram. Do you know what that one is?
Yeah, it was with me, Ray, Snoop Dogg, and one of my old business partners.
I did see that. So now going back and looking at that and how far you've come, it's not easy to amass 7 million followers on a social platform, especially Instagram. I feel like people are very picky. How did you do it? What was the point that you started picking up followers and you're going, oh, damn,
So
I'm
so
actually
many
doing this.
Right. So it was a combination of many things. And I'm going to keep it 100% real. Number one, I built a lot of relationships first before opening up my Instagram because I was trying to invest into celebrities, music artists, social media influencers, and other types of public figures, into developing websites and having stores selling health and wellness products through them, which was my vision. That I wanted them to kind of get across living a fit and healthy life to, their followers, right? And I built a lot of relationships that way first. And then when I decided to do it myself, obviously when I opened it up, a lot of the same friends, they kind of tagged me, pushed me out, etc. And then I got involved in different campaigns. So it was, sweepstake campaigns, giveaway campaigns, this, that, all kinds of different things that you can get involved in order to grow your social media following organically. And then, you post certain content, you boost it, all kinds of different things. So it happened over a span of a couple years. The media advertising I did, billboards, you name it. I was all over the place. So it was everything put together that did it.
No, listen, I'm telling you, people pay big bucks to have, brands and
I invested, I would say, I basically invested in myself. I said, look, I'm investing in all these other people. I may as well just give it a shot and invest in myself. And I believed in myself, and I said, oh, shit, all else fails, at least I know I can wiggle something else out of this.
Exactly, man.
So you got to
listen,
change the plan. Don't change the goal. The goal's always going to be the same.
I think what I love about your page is, listen, it's the lifestyle that I think people kind of dream of, the expensive cars, the mansions, all of that kind of stuff. What is your favorite car out of all the cars that you own? Because it seems like you have quite a few.
My favorite car that I never drive is the 67 Shelby GT500 Eleanor. That's my favorite car that I never drive.
And why do you not drive it?
Because it's a showpiece. That's just gone in 60 seconds. That's just, that thing, I can't even put a price tag on that thing.
Okay.
That's my favorite. Out of all the cars, that's just you can't, it's not something you can go to a dealership and go buy that car.
Yeah. What else do you
Yeah.
have? Because I've seen Bugattis, I've seen kind of
Yeah.
everything on your page.
Let me tell you, I have a lot of cars. I love cars. So a lot of people have different things that they tend to do when they make money, they become successful. Some people resort to crazy shit. Some people, resort. Everyone has their vice, right? So for me, it's cars, and I look at cars as like hey, if I achieve this goal, I'm gonna buy this car. Then I set another goal. I achieved this goal, I'm gonna buy this car. There came a point where every damn goal that I set, I ended up hitting it. So I didn't know what to do. And I just kept buying cars and cars. And one of the reasons I do this is because cars are great for marketing. And some of these cars that I have, they're very special models. They're not like your typical, it's not like your typical Ferrari that's everybody has that particular model. They're limited series or limited editions or hard to get.
I just like how you said everyone has that particular model of Ferrari.
It's not the common one. It's not the common
No.
ones. And
Okay.
and from an investment perspective, in the
Yeah.
last 2 years, all the cars went up in value. Every single car
True.
went up. So
So how many
all
cars
my
do you
cars have
own?
gone up. I have a lot. Too
Come
many.
on, what's the
Too
number?
many. Too many. Too many. I can't even count. 30 plus.
Oh my god. 30 plus
30
cars?
plus.
Holy shit, that's so crazy. Wow.
But I don't.
You're like
It's.
Jay Leno over there.
But it's
Just
like
do you have a
it's like my whole. This is like. I don't know. It's just my outlet. I love cars.
how big is your garage? Like one garage at your LA home.
I don't.
How many cars does it fit?
I don't keep all my cars. I don't keep them all in one place.
Well,
But
that's smart.
at my house in LA, I can easily fit about 16 cars between my driveway and garage.
Okay, here's a legit question for you.
Hmm.
When I see people and they show off cars
Hmm.
or money or whatever
Yes.
on
Yes.
social media, I get nervous for them
Correct.
because there has been stories in the past, like the bling ring. Do you remember the bling ring, the famous story of celebrities getting hit up the second they would leave town? The bling
Yes.
ring would go and how do you protect yourself when your lifestyle and your social media is about showing off? Like how do you protect yourself?
So if you look at social media today, 90% of the people are about showing off. I unfortunately, and it's a sad situation because if I had it my way, I wouldn't. My whole thing is to try to motivate people without having to go that like you're not gonna see me post a picture in front of a Ferrari and say, oh hey, this is what you can do too, and blah blah blah, right? But it's people only they see that stuff and I'm not saying everybody because I'm not going to generalize, but majority they they tie success with a certain piece of material. So
Yep.
you have to show that piece of material in order for them to make it work. Same thing for meetings. You go to a meeting, right? If you pull up an X car versus a Ferrari or Lamborghini or Bugatti, it changes the whole dynamic of it. Literally. So how to protect myself? First of all, I use them for marketing for business, but I don't keep everything in one place. And I definitely don't keep any of my valuables in my place of living or anywhere near that area even.
No,
So
I think that
yeah, nobody knows where I keep my stuff.
no, I think that's smart, and I guess I've always just wondered that question myself
Yeah.
because of
People, a lot of times you'll see people post on social media where they live, their address, their backyard, their front yard, their bedroom, all this shit, right? I mean, I'm very careful what I post, how limits, the whole 9 yards.
So you kind of own all the fancy cars that are out there. So tell me what's one car that everyone like idolizes or like wants so bad, but is actually kind of a shit car.
Oh, shit. I don't know. It's hard to say. I'm not gonna say shit car because there's no such thing as really a shit car, but a car that's overrated that looks really, really nice, but it's a pain to drive and you're gonna drive it once or twice and then you never want to keep driving it is a Lamborghini Aventador.
Really?
It
It's
is
not
the
that
most
fun?
amazing looking car, but it is a pain to drive. And it's crazy that it's crazy that with the technology they have today, they still haven't improved the driving of that car. If you compare the driving of a Ferrari, like an SF90, for example, to an Aventador, it's a totally different ballgame.
What makes it so hard to drive?
It's just like very, very different. I don't know how to explain it. It's like a $800,000 go-kart. It's really different.
That you have to like lay
But
down
it
in
looks
almost.
like a spaceship, but it's not as, like you can't go too far. Your back's gonna hurt. You're this, that. It's not that fun.
That's so funny. Every time I see one of those, like, oh my God, look at that car. And I
Oh, it's
always think
amazing.
Kanye West.
Again,
Yeah.
marketing. I mean, people look, people stare, right? That's
Yeah.
just what it is. It's a fun car. I'm not saying it's not a fun car. It's an amazing car. You go short trips, you go here, that's amazing. But it's not, these are not long distance cars.
That's so funny. So tell me like when you go to Vegas, because I've
Yes.
seen a lot of photos in Vegas. Tell me what was one of the wildest nights you've ever had in Vegas? Because I got to imagine your wildest night is very different from my wildest night in Vegas.
That was a while ago. I'm not that much of a crazy partier anymore. It was back in the day. But yeah, I've had some crazy wild nights. I mean, back to back, going out here. One thing I've never done is I don't go and blow tens of thousands of dollars in clubs. That's not my thing. I'm not trying to be the guy to look cool in front of everybody else. I'll go and blow 10 times that amount on a car, but I'm going to have that car I'm going to have that car. I'm not going to go and try to impress everybody else around me to compete with a bunch of yo-yos in a club to go and burn 20, 30, $50,000 to not know what the hell happened the next morning. I'm not into that.
I respect that. I respect because at
Fuck
least the
that
car
shit.
is yours. It's
Car's
your
yours.
investment.
It's your investment.
Yeah.
You have it. Even if you lose a little bit of money on it, at least you still have it. You can look at it the next morning. Going and burning that kind of money in a club to show off to others is a complete waste of time. But I've had a lot of wild nights. I mean, listen, you know what Vegas is about, right? So it's you take all that, imagine in your head, and there you go. I mean, I've done it. I've had all the wild nights, so I'm a little more. I'm calmer now in my life. I know what I want. I have a direction, and the type of message that I'm looking to push across is, positive, healthy living, all of that stuff. And actually, I haven't touched alcohol in 2 months now. So even yet, I went out the past couple. Zero, because one of the biggest things is if you're training and stuff. Like for me, every time I drink alcohol, it just sets me back all the time. So I'm just, the same message I'm putting out, I gotta live that myself too, right?
No, speaking of like your healthy message, as I was going through your Instagram, just trying to find the oldest photo on there, see what you post first, you come across a lot of your old photos where you were a very different person years ago. You have lost an incredible amount of weight. You have transformed your body. What was that like? What was that process like for you?
That was, I mean, life changing. It was a completely different ball game. So when I was overweight, I didn't even know I was overweight. Believe it or not, I didn't feel insecure. I didn't feel like anything. I felt I was normal. I didn't feel like anything was different. But then again, there was no social media. There was no reconnecting with people from the past. I had moved, so I grew up in Montreal. Then I lived in Vancouver. And when I lived in Vancouver, I didn't know anybody. So all I was doing was sitting on the computer, working, sitting, working, sitting, working. I had, my family with me. And I just, at one point, I didn't think anything was wrong. So when I started losing weight, one of the reasons was Facebook. And I started to lose weight, reconnecting with people from the past and stuff. And when I first started losing weight and I'd lost maybe 30, 40 pounds, that's when I started to become more self-aware. And eventually there became a point where I wanted to lose so much weight that I got down to 185 pounds. I burned all my muscle mass. I went down to being super, super skinny. And then I had to kind of like train to burn muscle mass again because all I was doing was cardio all day. But the first time that I actually went on a treadmill, I could only do a minute, and it was bad. Like I was barely able to do anything.
So how much was that weight loss?
I lost over 250 pounds and over 36 inches off my waist naturally.
Wow. That is a full person, dude.
Without taking any supplements. So I'm not trying to tell somebody about a product that I took to lose weight. I did it with hard work, and I did it with diet, and I did it with discipline. But to tighten my skin, to tone my body, to put on the muscle, all that stuff, that's where the supplementation came in.
Gotcha. And then, so, is that the one thing that you feel like a lot of people do reach out to you about is weight loss? Because I feel that weight loss is one of those things that if someone figures it out, you become like a beacon for other people. Like, how do I obtain that? Like, you've done it. Well, tell me all of your secrets.
The secret is you have to want it. That's number one. You have to really, really want it, and you have to be able to, stress plays a big factor. Sleep plays a big factor. The amount of water you drink a day plays a big factor. What you put in your body plays the biggest factor, right? So you have to first want it. You have to see, like, a lot of people want to lose weight. They don't even need to lose weight. Like, I have friends around me that tell me all day, I need to lose weight, but there's no weight for them to lose. They just need to tone and put on muscle, but they don't understand this. So they just think they need to lose weight. So first you have to really see what it is. And the biggest thing is, for some people, it's actually hard. I mean, I was lucky I did it at a younger age. If I try to do it now, probably wouldn't happen as quickly or as effectively. You need to get a blood test done. You need to figure out exactly, let's say your sugar levels are high or you're diabetic or something. I mean, it's a totally different ballgame. No matter what you eat or what you do, it's not going to work. You're going to get stuck. Or if your testosterone levels are low, you're 35, 37 plus, and you have low testosterone. Doesn't matter what you do, your estrogen is going to be high, and you're not going to lose weight. So you have to consult a doctor. You have to consult a physician, and see, exactly all your levels and where you're at.
Now, I know that you're going to be on Dr. Oz coming up here in the next couple of weeks. Is this
Yes.
what your topic with him will be, or is it something completely different?
It's going to be primarily focusing on health and wellness, mental health first, and then physical second, because obviously your brain has to be healthy in order for your body to become healthy. And then the other points are going to be, Dr. Oz has a foundation. We have a large number of kids and stuff that I'd like to do some work with, and in the schools and whatnot. So yeah, it's all going to be related to health and wellness.
Now, have you done a lot of TV? Do you get nervous thinking about going on Dr. Oz? It's a big ass show.
No, I mean, it's not I haven't, I've done here and there little things, but there's no script really. It's a question and answer. So there's nothing about getting nervous.
I still get nervous. I've done, I don't know, gazillion hours of TV. I still get nervous when I go on something new for the first time.
I like the challenge. If it's the first time and I've never done it, I like it. I say, let's go with it.
I like the adrenaline rush that it gives me when I love the adrenaline. New.
That's the reason why I like cars, the adrenaline rush.
The adrenaline rush. I do like that one. So when you go to LA or New York, Miami, I'm a big food person. So yes. What's the best restaurant that they've got in Miami?
So many restaurants. There are, the one where I'm going to tonight for dinner meeting is Carbone. That's a really good one. But I love this place in Fort Lauderdale. It's a Greek place. They have amazing Greek food. So many. Miami is a hotbed for food.
So when you go to like a Carbone or one of these other restaurants, is it pretty easy for you to get a reservation, or you struggle like the rest of us?
Sometimes you have to struggle. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But sometimes you have to struggle, But just wait.
I hear. Okay. I have a question, another food-related question. For flying private on a private jet, how does it work? Do you order the food before you get on the flight? Do they just give you whatever they've got? I'm always curious about that.
Well, I usually just cater. So I'll just say, hey, look, I want XYZ, and I'll take it, and I'll tell my pilots before I have to have it on the plane. That's it. Very simple.
That simple. Just tell them what you want, and it's going to be ready when you get. Do you have your own plane?
I have my own plane. Yes. I have.
Oh, you have your own plane.
Yes. Tax 100% tax write-off. That's why I have my own plane.
I didn't realize you had your own plane. That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people compare your lifestyle and Dan Blizerian's lifestyle because it's very over the top. Have you met Dan? Do you know Dan? Are you guys buddies or anything?
No, he knows. I know of him. I've never met him formally. A lot of people I know him, but it's not. It's a totally different ballgame. It's not the same thing.
Interesting. By the way, how much does a private jet actually cost?
Depends on the plane. It can go anywhere from $500,000 up to $100 million. It all depends on the year, the plane, all of that.
One of the other big
The
moments
thing
on
with a plane, you have to look at is the maintenance, the engine programs. It's totally different than buying a car. And then to get a plane, it's not as simple as, oh, I want to buy a plane, cut a check, and get tomorrow. Even if you cut a check and you're buying the plane tomorrow, you still have to spend a good 2 months in getting transfer papers, this, that, FAA registration. There's a whole process to it.
So it's kind of like owning a boat.
Kind of like owning a boat, yeah.
Kind of a bitch.
It's a pain in the ass.
But it's awesome if you have one.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
so one of the other big moments on Instagram, like at least one of the big things that you came on my radar for was Floyd Mayweather's birthday party.
Yes.
And this was a couple months back, and seeing this birthday party with Floyd, and you're there front and center. And how did that come about? How did you guys kind of come together for that birthday party?
Floyd and I, we've been friends for a while. So our birthdays are very not too far apart. Like mine is on February 12th. His is just a couple of weeks after. So we decided to do it together. And since everything was closed off, we decided to do it in Fort Lauderdale.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And so do you guys just get together and you're like, we're going to make this the most over the top crazy event so that everyone's talking about it?
It just happened. It happened organically. That's not even something that we looked at. It just kind of happened organically. We invited people.
Just your boys.
He had some people. I had a bunch of guests that came, and then press and media, and the cameras come in and put on social media, and a movie gets created out of it before you know it.
What I love is that it seems like you two are like really good friends. I saw a lot of photos before, and you're just having dinner. It looked like your parents went out to dinner with you guys, and just something chill and low key. My big question is, what's Floyd like just when there's no cameras and it's just him being him? Because that's the side that I feel like we don't see very often.
Normal person, very giving, genuine, just opposite of what people think on Instagram.
That's kind of what I expected, but you don't ever see it. So
keep one thing in mind. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter what you do. At the end, it's a profession, right? So it really doesn't matter. So it's just a profession. So he's a normal person. It's a character. Everyone has a role to play. No, that's like me if I was going on Instagram and just like making like motivation. Everyone's a normal. It's a character. They play a character.
So do you feel like to be successful, and I don't mean just on Instagram, but like you've got to be kind of like a specific character to get people interested. That will help grow an audience. I'm asking because I feel like there's a lot of people that want to be influencers. They want to be in your shoes with a huge following. What are some of those tips that you would give to people? Is it find your brand, find your character? What is it?
Find yourself.
Yeah,
that's the first thing, because most people today are. Again, I'm gonna generalize, but a lot of people today are lost. And the reason why they're lost is because they're looking too much on social media, thinking the other person has something that they want, or the other person has something better than what they have for themselves, right? The biggest thing is people think that the other person has a better life than them. So they have a goal, right? So listen to my theory for a second. They have a goal. They hang around, they have a certain crowd that they're with. They want to either achieve success, make $1 million, $2 million. They don't know why. They don't know what the reason is. They have no clue why. Then they go on Instagram. They see somebody has something better. Then they lose their focus towards whatever they're working on. First thing I'd say, they find themselves. They find out why they want what they want, what the main reason is. Then surround themselves with people that have that same mindset as they do. That's step one to anything. all these courses, spending $1,000, $5,000 on these motivation things to get rich overnight programs. None of that's going to work. It's all bullshit.
I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you on that.
There's no way it's going to work. It's not possible. I invite anybody to challenge me on it. It's a bunch of bullshit. That's one thing I refuse to do, is to take money from people who are already in a debt, that are trying to find a way to make more money, to put themselves in a deeper hole, thinking that there's something out there that they can make quick, fast money with, not realizing that the root that it has to come from is from within their own surroundings first. You can't suddenly change everything that's going on in your life if everything you're doing every day is still the same. How's that going to happen?
No, I see that. And I think
wake up every morning, you do the same thing.
I think what makes that hard, though, honestly, is Instagram. I think Instagram makes it hard on people to know what's real, what's not. You know, it makes people want this lifestyle that no one can achieve, because people are only putting up their best stuff. You know, it's not like the real side of what's happening in their lives.
No.
So when you refresh your phone, how many new followers does it say?
I don't know. I don't look at that.
I'm dying to know what it's like when you have that many followers and you refresh, and then boom, you just get.
All I see is 100. That's all I see every time I look at this stupid thing. You could get lost if you spend all day on that. Like,
no, for
lost
sure.
in the sauce.
I mean, do you even go through your DMs? Because I got to imagine you're getting hit up in your DMs all the time. Never. So I have a primary list. I go through the primary list. If it's in the general, if it's in like thing, I'll once every 2 weeks, I'll click on the general tab. I'll see if anybody has a verified thing. I'll look through it. But otherwise, if it's like all the random nonsense, I never click it. Never open. But I got to imagine there's people, like there's probably ladies out there dropping into your DMs, trying to get your attention. Has there been anything wild that actually got your attention that you're like, what is happening right now?
No, because first of all, when it comes to that department, I have no problem. I don't need Instagram for that.
But for some ladies, that's their only opportunity, they feel. That's the only way to get their attention.
Great, but that I ain't gonna be looking for that, that's for sure. I ain't looking at. I've never been on a dating app in my life. I ain't gonna start with it. It's never gonna happen. But if somebody's contact for business purposes, they can click the email button. There's 100 ways to reach them. There's always somebody through somebody that can, if it's related to business, but not through DMs.
No, I love it. Who's the biggest name in your phone? We play this game on Hollywood Raw, and I'm always curious to see who's the biggest name you've got in your phone.
Oh, who's the biggest name in my phone? Shit. I can't say.
Okay,
I honestly can't say. It's not a celebrity. It's
bigger than a celebrity?
It's certain names. Well,
so like a world politician.
Certain high. Correct. I'll leave it at that.
Is it a U.S. politician?
Yes.
A former president?
You can say that.
All right. I got guesses. I got lots of guesses.
Yes.
Does it?
Okay. But I can't say more.
All right.
I can't say more. Certain things I can't. You know what I mean? Right. It's just there's a level that if I start crossing that level, then I'm gonna end up getting myself wrapped up. I don't want that.
We don't want that.
I want to stay limitless. I don't want to turn limited. You know what I mean? Next thing you know, you go on Instagram, my handles changed from limitless to limited.
We were joking. I was joking with my producer Pat today. I was like, with IG down, he's limited. And okay. Well, it was a dad joke at the time. We thought it was pretty funny.
I was pretty damn limited today. But you know what? It felt good. I went on the beach and I was relaxing for 3 hours.
Just not focused on IG or creating social media.
No.
Do you feel a lot? Okay. Do you feel a lot 100%. Of pressure when you post, because 7 million plus people, and this is just for IG, this doesn't even count other social media platforms, but when you post something up there, 7 million people are going to see that. And same goes with the caption. What kind of pressure do you have when you have that type of following?
I have zero pressure because the biggest thing is for me, I'm just being myself. I'm not doing anything different. Whatever I post is my day-to-day life. There's nothing that changes. So I have zero pressure. I don't care if the picture is looking a certain way or what it is. I'm just being
And you
myself
know
on
what
there.
I find surprising is when I see that you have a home gym where you've got this beautiful home gym
Mhm.
where it's like, is it in an atrium or something like that? It's hard to tell what exactly it is, but it's this gorgeous gym. Then I'm surprised
Mhm.
when I see you in like a public
Yeah.
gym. I'm what
Mhm.
what I'm
So I have a home
okay.
gym in LA. So I built a whole
But what
gym
I'm
at my house
surprised
in
is
LA.
that you still would
And
go
then
to
when
a
I'm in
public
Miami,
gym. Like I got to imagine you're getting stopped and people want to
why not?
talk to you and all of that kind of stuff. So
No, you know what's funny? They just think I'm fucking crazy when I'm in a gym. What happens is because I have my headphones on, I'm training, and um, they know who I am at the gym, but it's nobody bothers me. It's the gym is one place where I don't like to be bothered. Like I just like to wear my headphones and just do what I'm doing, and that's it. I don't want phone calls. I don't want messages. I'm very like somebody bothers me when I'm at the gym. If it's not an emergency, like
So the
it's
person
not
who's
good.
filming you, is that a trainer or do you have someone that just follows you around to document yourself at the gym?
Depends. No. I don't do that. So I have sometimes if a videographer of mine or something is in town, he'll film, or if I have somebody training with me that day, a friend, he'll just do a quick recording for me. But it's not all the time. Like I don't always have somebody. Sometimes I'll hold a phone with one hand and I'm training with the other hand just to show that I could lift 150 pounds with one hand. That's like dumb shit like
No,
that.
I asked because there are a lot of influencers out there that specifically have
Mhm.
someone come to the gym to film them. So I don't feel like it's a strange thing, especially when
Yes.
you're trying to create content and keep it flowing on a daily basis.
hmm
Because for a lot of people, being an influencer or having
You
a
know,
huge following, that's a lot of work. It really is.
I know it really is. It's just I don't know. Maybe I guess I haven't digested that part yet. Um, I I I can't see myself having somebody around me all day just filming. Like I would lose it. I need my own space, and not every day in the gym doing the same thing.
Yeah.
It's repetitive, because you're doing the same. You're doing one thing one day. After 4 days, it's the same thing. You're going back to day
Yeah.
one,
No, I hear you. I
so it
hear you,
gets
but
repetitive.
people are making a lot of money being influencers and having those cameras
Hundred
following them
percent.
around. It's pretty wild.
But
Yeah.
that's their business. That's their core business. For me, that's not my core business. I mean, I definitely want to motivate people. I definitely want to do all that, but at the same time, I have to run my core business too. This is a passion for me. This is what helps me
Mhm.
stay sane. This is like mental therapy.
Okay, so
Changed my
going back,
life.
like you mentioned a little while ago that Ray J was the reason that you even got on
Yes.
Instagram. What was that conversation? How did
Mhm.
Ray J talk you into starting up an Instagram page?
Um, Basically he was, I mean, I spent a lot of time with him. He kind of got my entry into the whole entertainment world with him, right? And after a while, it was just like, hey, you got to believe in yourself. I mean, you have everything it takes. Why don't you believe in yourself? Why don't you want to do it? And I was always shy. I'm like, no. I don't want to be the one to do it. I want other people to. So at one point, it was just like, it's like when you hit a hammer, you hit the nail every single day. Eventually, the nail is going to go in, right in the
Mhm.
wall. That's what happened. They kept hitting the nail every single day for a while. So eventually it drilled in my head. And I said, fuck it, what am I going to lose? I opened it up and slowly
Dude, I
started.
love it. It's fun to see your progression from, this photo of you snooping Ray J.
It's amazing how
It
powerful that
really
platform
is.
is. It's amazing how powerful
It's
that platform is,
it's
right?
really
It's
wild and
crazy.
how like even with it shutting down today,
Mhm.
like the world lost their minds.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
without having social
Oh, my
media
God.
or
Unbelievable.
WhatsApp, it was like everyone was freaking out. My mother-in-law is texting, my
Unbelievable.
sister-in-law, my wife, like everyone didn't know what to do because everyone thought their phones were broken
Yeah.
because you don't have all three apps go down at the same time ever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know. A lot of people thought that. I mean, I knew there was something wrong when WhatsApp wasn't working and all that, but I think that because the whole fiasco that was going on in the news in the morning, I think it was a coincidence. There's something that happened with a server right after, and
Yeah,
it just created the
exactly,
shitstorm.
exactly, with the whistleblower, and then suddenly all goes to hell for them. Very crazy, but it's been fun to watch your journey, not only your weight loss journey, which you can go, and if you want to go to his Instagram page, you can go back and see some of these photos. I mean, it really is an incredible transformation you've made and positive health transformation. So congratulations on that. And just like it, if you want some inspiration, gym inspiration, follow him on IG. He's always kind of given positive pep talks to people out there that are, watching his videos. And I don't know. I'm having fun watching you on social media, dude. As much as it is like just a side project for you, I think that you do a really good job at it. So you're a fun follow, and one day I'm gonna track you down because I wanna ride in one of your fancy ass cool cars.
No problem. Anytime.
The next podcast will be in your car.
Amazing. Love it.
So, Jas, thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. I'm sorry again, Adam wasn't here.
Thank you.
I'm sure he's kicking himself right now, but he is talking to The Rock, so I guess that's pretty damn cool too.
I'm gonna do. We're gonna do an event next year with The Rock. If they do Athleticon, I think it's gonna be in Orlando.
Sick. I love it. I love hearing all these things that you got going on in your life. I love talking to people who have been successful, not only in, obviously we've been talking a lot about social media today, but your businesses are where your core, success comes from. And it's nice to talk to someone who has, made it in the world. And I wish you even more success and more awesomeness in your life, and have fun at Carbone tonight.
I'm gonna post a lot of food. You know what's funny? I post a lot of food, a lot of carbs and desserts and stuff, but I don't touch that stuff. I let other people eat it. I just do it for Instagram.
All right, there's one of your secrets you just let out. You don't even touch the desserts.
That's a secret. I don't touch a lot of the desserts. No, I'll think
awesome, dude. Well, thank you again. I appreciate your time.
All right,
dude.
Thank you.
All right, so that was a fun podcast. Very weird not doing it with Adam. I have to say, I've been doing this podcast with him for years now. This is our very first podcast that I've had to do solo. So that was weird, just not having the banter back and forth. I hope it didn't kill it for anyone else out there, that I at least pulled my weight on this podcast today. Adam, I hope I made you proud. But anyway, Jas, very nice guy, clearly extremely, extremely successful. I hope that one day I can fly in a private jet. Maybe he'll take me in his private jet just for one trip. I just want to see what it's like to be in a private jet. I'll probably freak the whole time. That's small and teensy, and I feel like some fall out of the sky. But nevertheless, I'd like to try it out once. Anyway, thank you again, guys, for joining us. Please, like I said at the beginning of the show, leave us a review, 5-star. Again, it's like our payment. We have no other way to get discovered on iTunes other than by you guys leaving reviews and kind comments, and it allows us to work into the algorithm and up the charts. So thank you again for joining us. You can find me at Dax Holt. You can find Adam at Adam Glyn. I promise he will be back next week. You can follow him on social media, watch his adventures. Until next time, check us out on YouTube. There's a video version if you'd like to check out what we look like or what our guests look like or any of that. You can find us at YouTube. Search Hollywood Raw on YouTube. And until next time, bye.
Thanks for watching the Hollywood Raw.
Make sure you hit the thumbs up, subscribe to our channel. That way we can be friends for life.